Hey guys, Dr. Mike Dusa here. I'm all the way out in Cold Spring, New York. I did come all the way from Connecticut, and I do that for my very good friend. I'm not a person who has a lot of friends. I don't say I have a bunch of friends, not the way I define friends. You know, we got the MTFU book out now. A lot of guys have bought, a lot of you are receiving it right now. I have to say that this book, I could say in a way, started here back in June of 2013. If you read the chapter where I stopped lying. I kind of started here. And I can tell you why. I was very sick. I was in very, very bad shape. I had a very bad problem with my arm. I had gangrene and MRSA in my arm. I had a big open wound, and when the arm was turning black, I thought I was going to lose it. But there were a lot more worse things going on, and I came out here. I had to get away from the doctors and all the negativity, because this guy right here, he's a man who just has that inner sense of truth. And he looked at me. Do you remember what you said to me when I was here?
Find your truth, Mike. Where's your truth?
And how did I present? Did I present as I'm presenting now?
I felt that as you were living life at the time, it was almost like one thing was covering another, like you were almost creating a facade of what happiness was and never experiencing any of the happiness yourself.
I was killing myself with work.
You weren't doing anything enjoyable whatsoever, I remember. Nothing.
Steve and I were both, and are, I think, both successful. We were both he's still in practice, very successful practice here. But he was living his life outside the practice. My life was work. I was defined by that, which is very bad, especially if you're doing that. Would you find that to be true?
Absolutely. If you're not happy yourself and you're not having a good time yourself and enjoying life, there's no way that you're going to be able to help other people to be happy and to grow themselves. You have to be okay inside.
He's right.
And you have to be okay inside to expand that, to make a relationship with another person even work.
We write about that in the book, and in fact it's probably defined in myself where I was very successful without fulfillment. And there's millions of people who are very successful because they force themselves to be, but they're not fulfilled because they hate what they do. I'm not saying I hated what I did, it just wasn't totally right for me. Steve is a guy I think has success with fulfillment. Am I right?
Yes, well, I'm so glad that I did that, because there were times where I would try to rationalize that I can't go camping with my family, I should put that off, we got to save the money, we have to be able to handle bills down the line. And the years would have went by where one day I would say I worked every day 24/7, did nothing, but I provided for my family, and yet I would feel such a great sense of regret with that.
Regret.
Terrible regret.
That's the worst thing.
The whole experience that I had with my family was I was deriving my happiness from their happiness as well. And the more trips that we did, the more that it invigorated me to keep going in what I was doing. I was finding my own happiness as well by watching the smiles on their faces.
Do you see his certainty when he speaks? He doesn't believe what he says, he knows that it's his truth. And as far as truth, I was sitting on the table here 5 years ago, about 250 pounds of sorry, fatty sadness and sickness, and he just said, Mike, what is your truth? And you know, that was a starting point where I was able to pull out of that and get myself back. And you read all about it here, everything else I did. But you know, Steve, I have to thank you once again. And what do we always say when we part? I say, I will bury you or you will bury me, because he is truly one of those friends who, you know, and that's why you don't have a lot of friends. People on Facebook, they say, I love my Facebook family. I don't have that much love to give. I've got a family of like 10,000 people. I don't love you all. I can't. It's not possible. But you'll find one or two good people who will be there for you and take the bullet. Don't get shot, but you know, they'll be there for you till the end, and they'll tell you the truth. You know, that's what I needed, because nobody was doing that. But anyway, my brother, thank you. And get the book. You'll help feed some starving animals, and things will be good.
Very proud of you, Mike.
Thanks, Steve. You can turn that off.
Hey.
That was good.
Well, you're so good, Mike.